going, Anna?
I'm okay. I've had an intense day. My daughter just got told she has para-influenza, like of the sinus. I don't know, but nothing more than that, but enough to have another week off school after having her appendix out. So
Oh, no.
I came home and I'm just like, whatever, I want to hear what other people have to say about the world because there's no way I'm focusing on my own work at the moment. And so what's happening? Are you in New South
No,
Wales?
I'm in Victoria. So,
You're in Victoria.
and actually, this came at a really fortuitous time because I work as a tutor, an English tutor, and I work in and around one particular school, my old school, but we don't say that too loudly because I'm old enough that I should have left school by now. And I actually think, look, to be honest, I think their response has been really good. They're closing down for a day on Wednesday to test their online systems, which in and of itself brings up a really other interesting discussion about like the haves and the have-nots and how those education outcomes. But, like they're doing the right thing, but they said all outsiders, so anyone who's not a member of staff, can't come on campus anymore. And I see a lot of year 12s during their spare. Yeah, I mean, I've said to them, we'll do remote.
I'm digesting, sorry. Bit of a slow processing moment there because my daughter's in year 11, so I'm thinking, I'm not sure our school's doing anything, but there we are.
Well, they're possibly doing stuff, they're almost certainly doing stuff behind the scenes, but the communication probably isn't happening.
Haven't restricted anything yet. Obviously, in terms of the parents, we haven't been told a lot. But But so, and to make sure we get this in here, you are secretary for La Voisvoyer, is that right?
Yeah, I sure am. So, and
awesome.
It's so great.
Thank you.
Honestly, you're welcome. But also, like, it's so easy when you're working with such passionate and dedicated people, and when, like, both in the community and I just like, so Kate, Margot, Renee, and Sarah, they are just such phenomenal women. Like, Renee is a member of the New South Wales SES.
Oh, that's so cool.
Casually saving lives.
That's sweet, as you do.
And actually, I meant to, because I threw this to the committee and they got back to me at the same time that you got back to me. And if you're available in the next few weeks, we'd love to do like this, but with more than one of us in like an official La Voisvoyer capacity.
Sure.
But I mean, it's
I don't know. I don't know what I can do with this.
Tell us. We are here. We are here to serve.
I will try anything. Like, I haven't put more than one person on the other end before, but that would be great. Yeah.
Well, we definitely love that. Because, I mean, the other thing is we've been talking about what can we do. So, I mean, we've like tweeting and Instagramming is sort of the first response. Like, please buy from indie bookstores. They still deliver. And I didn't even know there was I'm an indie author, so like getting into bookstores is something I have to do myself. And I didn't know there was like a directory of indie bookstores in Australia. So we're like, find your nearest indie store. We'll be shouting out tomorrow the bookstores that are still delivering to self-isolating people. But like the cancellation of the Sydney Writers' Festival.
Is it cancelled? Are they they've halted tickets?
Yes, possibly they've halted tickets. Sorry, I'm not breaking any news here.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
I'm so sorry. Like, honestly, Outlook's probably not
hope. But,
I mean, even looking forward to the Emerging Writers' Festival here in Melbourne, like, is there some way that we can get ahead of that curve now and start planning to help hosting literally anything? And at the moment, we're like, maybe.
I'm pretty much at the anything would be good phase. I like the idea of someone inventing the paid arts channel subscription service where you can do the proper interviews that would have happened at the festival. People can have their incomes. It can still be run by proper curators. But, until that happens, and who knows how long that would all take to organise, it's just coming down to underground movements, which is us.
I mean, this is amazing. I think this is such a fabulous response as well. The team at ABC News, we watch ABC News 24 in the mornings, like everyone
except me with kids, because if they see the news, it's over for the day. I'll spend the whole day explaining 5 minutes of news.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the team there have done an incredible job of keeping us up to date while also
Mm.
kind of like controlling their own panic because this is
Yes.
terrifying.
It's a bit hard, and every time I don't have complete control over that, I see the knock-on effect, obviously, in the kids or my friend who is highly anxious, and then I text her and then I go, oh, that was really horrible. Why did I do that? I've just increased her worries. So then I text all of the nice things I can think of to say it'll all be okay, whilst thinking, oh my God, it is not okay. So yeah, it is hard to control.
And I
Yep.
mean, like, I've been thinking about this a lot recently because I'm in my still mid 20s. And I've been thinking a lot about parents and your relationship, how that changes as you grow older. You know, I certainly still feel like a child a lot of the time, but even just in, and I mean, it's something that I work through my writing often. Like, you really want to go to your parents and be like, I'm terrified. Can you please just tell me,
Yeah,
can you give me a hug and tell me everything's going to be okay?
I still do
But,
that.
well,
I'm
but like,
42. I rang my mum and I'm like, so are you going to come and look after me? She's like, my son just rang, your brother rang and said, should I deliver toilet rolls? And you ring and ask me to look after you.
well,
Yep.
I mean, like it's so hard, right? Because like my mum, she is a music teacher and she teaches both in her private studio and at schools. You can see that I really took a divergent career path from her. But you know,
We all
she's
turn into our parents.
no,
So.
it could be worse. Could be worse. Um, but like again, you don't think about like she's very understandably worried, and you know she's got hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
And I was saying, well, why don't you Skype? It's obviously a poor substitute, but that's at least something, and you can keep your income coming through, and you can keep giving them lessons. Which if they have to go into lockdown, they've got to be doing something. But it's all like you know you can't like she's worried and I'm actually in a position where I can offer that kind of support. So
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I really
It is hard. And then I worry about the isolation. So my grandma's 94, nearly next month. And she's saying she's got to go to the hospital to have an eye thing looked at. And I'm thinking, do you really need to go? But if she doesn't have someone come every day and make her bed, you know, in the place she's in the UK,
yeah.
and if she doesn't go and do the small number of medical things she has, then what is she doing? And
Yeah.
how will that affect her mental health? Because then she ends up, apart from FaceTime, so FaceTime saves her anyway. But that's hard, you know. So just trying to keep contact. And my neighbour, I was just saying this morning, I just realised my neighbour, her daughter is the cleaner at the local primary school, and the daughter is over 60 and the mum is over 80, and so they're both in high risk categories, and they're in the front line of cleaning the school. So and we phone each other, but I don't want to go knock on her door and make her sick. So how do I even help and get her things?
Could you leave a care package along with some like
Yeah.
disinfectant wipes next to it?
Yeah. I'll ring her. She was a nurse, so she's likely to have things in hand. And she's from North Queensland. And I don't know if you know many people from Northern Queensland, but anyone of a certain generation from up there, they're our hardcore survivor types, you know. And so she's had 6 children. So she's hopefully totally on top of it all. But I can't help but think, you know, she is my elderly neighbour. The other two they died in the last few years. I'm knocking them off, and I'm like, I am like the biggest curse to our neighbourhood. So Kathleen, you need to make it through, or we're all gonna. Oh no! Just how do I explain that to the kids?
It's a funny thing. Like, so my grandparents, my grandfather's 92, my grandmother is 83, and like they're immigrants. They came from Hungary post World War II.
Wow.
And so like they lived through a war, right? Like they lived through rationing, so they're just bemused. They're not, I mean, like obviously they're a little bit anxious. But they're like, I think they're just bemused by everyone's behavior as well.
Yeah. My grandma said she's never seen anything like this sort of reaction in all her years. she's never actually seen lockdowns of things and shutting down things. But we were saying, you know, travel's changed. But
Yeah, I had a
yeah,
trip
it's a
planned
little
in
bit.
May.
Did you? Me too,
Look,
to Sydney.
we haven't cancelled it because
For a
there's no
festival.
point making a decision at this stage. But like,
No.
you know, like, there's no point. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't necessarily want to preemptively act. You want to have as much, and not because we're like, oh, maybe everything will be good, but you just want to have as much information as possible before you make those kinds of decisions.
And there's just this little bit of hope that if people just act really quickly, then it will be a little bit more level. And then in 2 months' time, life could be not as crazy different.
Yeah, the wild optimism that is so misplaced.
But the optimism comes with and now let's shut everything right now. And yet there aren't that many people who agree. Not around here anyway.
Well, I don't. Where are you at the moment, Anna?
Brisbane,
Okay.
Vegas, where everyone's just give us toilet paper and we'll be right. Let's just keep going to school while we hoard everything. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
What's that?
Someone needs to explain the toilet paper. Like, so I have a background in anthropology, right? That's my, you know, so I'm a writer, so I like to think probably with very little basis. I have an insight into the human psyche and social, you know, behavior.
Yeah.
Why was that whatever, like why, and like, especially, you know, everything that comes subsequently, fair enough. Why do people go for toilet paper first?
Because somebody did. So somebody did. And it's the mob mentality of, oh, well, now they've done that. I'll have to do that, or I'll be the one left without. And we didn't go and buy any. And then all of a sudden, we're left without much to buy. And we're a family of 5. Like, we go through a lot of toilet paper. And so we just end up, and then now we go and you look like you're panic buying just because you needed some. And we're having to buy toilet paper that's not recycled, and it's doing my head in.
That's what I was really upset about too, because we buy from Who Gives a Crap, and it's just me and my boyfriend in this apartment. It's a 2-bedroom apartment, which is going to get real interesting if we're both working from home. But like, so normally we look like we're preppers. We look like, you know, you've got every conceivable cupboard is packed with toilet paper. We look like freaks. We look like we have this toilet paper fetish.
This is how I grew up. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what the worst bit was? We were coming to an end a few weeks, like we were coming to like the last, you know, 10 rolls. And I was like, oh, shit. Oh no, like Alice, you don't have enough room in your house. Like, you don't have it. Don't worry, it's fine. And then this hit, and my thought was, oh shit.
Exactly.
So,
but
exactly.
We grew up with a lot. Bulk buying. We had shelves installed above the toilet door. So when you sat on the toilet, there was a shelf and it was covered in toilet rolls. They were all around the top of the room. They would go under things. And my dad loved to buy in bulk. And even my mum, the first thing she said before anyone had mentioned it was, oh, I've got lots of toilet paper. Maybe there's like a depression, you know, from the depression thing, like from, you know, back way when maybe there was a shortage.
Well, I think so my great aunt, so my grandmother's sister, she hoarded, or she bought just a lot. She would never buy like a tin of a can of tomatoes. She'd buy the case.
Buy in bulk. Yeah.
And so we've always wondered if that was like a famine sort of.
Yeah.
They went through Germany and they were like going through fields to see what they could forage.
Yeah.
So we thought, so what that basically means is my children are going to be like, why does mum have this toilet paper fetish? Like, why is she so, like, why does she become so panicked?
And why does my mum have sanitizer everywhere? I went through it a few years ago. It was 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know, something like that. I'm not good with time. I had double ear infections. So for 2 weeks, I was completely consumed, you know, within this world of swimming horridness, and had a psychotic reaction to the medication. So I was just literally, it was the most horrific thing I was really stuck. It was horrible. And the, you know, throat specialist said I had to not get ear infections and not get colds. I had to use sanitizer and wipes and craziness. I managed to get a family of 5 to Finland and back with not one cold, because very basic measures, right? So they're kind of used to that, and now they're seeing it everywhere. Anyway, that'll be how our age is remembered.
But like, and so I mean, I was thinking about this, as I was driving home, because I just came from my grandparents. And if it makes you feel any better, I took, like, she went to the shop, so I got her to get some bacon for me. I just got some chili flakes from her, saw some flowers from her garden. So, like, my
Just
grandparents, who are,
thieving from them.
yeah,
Yep.
I'm meant to look after. They've been drinking, like, kombucha that she's been brewing herself for the last billion years. And so I tried to lightly steal that, but she didn't have any ready. So next week I'm going to go over, we'll brew some together.
And you're going to go and get some more. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just take what we can get.
Yeah. But, like, I was thinking about this on the way back, and I was like, and I'm going to put this into the world. And for everyone who watches this, can you please let me know if you do this too? In the back of my mind, I'm like, this is all going to be amazing for writing.
It's going to
Like,
be a what?
it's like, for writing,
Yeah.
every piece of writing that I'm, working through, I've just got this, like, creative, I'm almost rendered inert by all the ideas that are, like, there's so much that you can draw from.
See, I reckon that's going to be the haves and have-nots of writers. Because for me, I'm paralyzed by the thought that my kids will be home and I'll have no time to myself, and it put a halt to all my creative everything. This is why I'm processing outwards, because it's like, someone's going to steal my time. I can't do anything. So I just put a halt on the whole lot. Whereas if I thought I could escape all social engagements and just retreat and create, then I would be having that freedom feeling in a different way. Oh, that's interesting. See, we could do a poll. We'll have to vote.
Yeah. And can we please do that? Because because all my friends, like, are in their 20s, so none of us have children. Most of the people that I know hate other people. So I'm just getting all of these amazing memes through my feeds being sent to me about, like, don't worry, I've been preparing for this moment my whole life. Or even now we'll find out if this meeting really could have just been an email.
Yes, I think there are a lot of academics wondering that right now.
Let's do it. Let's try and see what Lovers YA has to say and what we can bring.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. And this is what I can do. I don't tend to add a lot of pressure in making it fancy and schmancy, and my own website's crap. So I'm just using the YouTube thing. So if anyone wants to do anything else, with it, I'm all on board and here.
I think you're paving the way, actually. I think this is a really good thing and a really good initiative, because it gives the writers' festivals that are in jeopardy, it gives them ideas as to what kind of formats look viable, don't look viable. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, can we seriously please put up that poll about our writers, like, are you worried or excited about like what you can do? Because I think it's an interesting conversation just to have creatively.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is a little bit more sanitary to be thinking about than the toilet roll crisis. So we'll do that. But I'm going to go. But thank you so much. And yes, the first of many conversations, I'm sure. Thanks for jumping in at the last minute to save me from being all alone.
Well, maybe not for long.
Not for long. Alrighty. Thanks.
Bye.
The number you have dialed has been changed.